Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing beautifully well. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha and today I'm going to be talking about something that was highly requested as school is approaching, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys are starting university soon, moving out and all that fun stuff. Congratulations first of all on all your offers, and I hope that you got in wherever you wanted to get in. But today I will be talking about the next very important and crucial step in your moving out, which is what you should and should not bring to university. Now, listen up. This has nothing to do with what you're studying. This is just a general what you should and shouldn't bring. Things that I brought that I never used, or things that I wish I had brought. Also know that it depends where you're heading to. If you're moving close to home, I would suggest bringing all of this. If you're moving abroad and you're moving across the world, I would suggest maybe waiting, buying it where you are. It might be cheaper to do so instead of lugging 7 suitcases across the world. Anyway, I will not bore you any longer. I will be separating this video into 2 parts. The first will be what not to bring. Second will be what to bring. So without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, what not to bring. Don't bring all the clothes that you own. Your style is going to change drastically when you move away to university. It will either become better or will become much worse than before. Or you will just have a completely different sense of fashion. You'll either become really lazy and wear sweatpants and sweatshirts every single day, or you will actually learn to find what suits you best and you will revamp your whole wardrobe and end up not wearing any of the clothes that you had before university. You're surrounded with a multitude of different people in university, different cultures, different backgrounds, different types of people, everything. You will get influenced by it all. You will want to try different things and you will not want to stick to who you were before university. Trust me. I think I was a good example because I actually brought, like, I would say 80% of my clothes all the way from Canada to London. My style is not anywhere near it was before. Of course, I still use some pieces because I'm all about extending the life of your clothing and all that. However, I won't lie, there are clothes that I just don't wear anymore. So I would suggest maybe bringing 40% of your wardrobe. I know it doesn't sound like a lot. Trying out new styles and seeing what suits you best, or maybe you'll just end up wearing the same thing for 2 weeks straight. You will be thankful for not filling your room with clothes to the brim. Second thing is don't bring too many books. This is something I did as well. I brought many books that I either didn't have time to read and therefore lost interest in why I bought the book, and ended up buying new books that interested me more and end up neglecting the ones that I brought from home. Also, books are really heavy. Books can always be read. I would suggest leaving your books at home, maybe bringing 3 or 4, sticking to that, and then once you get to university, maybe look into a library where you can return your book. Also, like that, when you go back home, you will not need to bring any books. You'll have books at home. Do not bring too much stationery or notebooks. I brought so many notebooks and so many art supplies. I ended up switching my whole degree. Whoops. I'm still in art school, but it's just not the same pathway that I thought I would go in. So I bought so many sketchbooks, so many pencils, and I do still sketch and I do still do all that stuff, but I had brought all these sketchbooks for school and I don't use them as much as I thought I would. Also, stationery will dry out if you bring too much, so there's no point in bringing too much. Keep it to a limit and stick with it. Also know that when you go to university, you'll learn about brands and you'll learn about better supplies, so don't bring too much stationery or art supplies or notebooks. If you're planning on being in a common kitchen, do not bring pots and pans. How do I say this? First of all, there's no point in bringing pots and pans from home. Pots and pans are relatively cheap. I would suggest waiting until you get there. Figure it out with your roommates or flatmates. Talk about if you guys want to share everything or if you each want to have your separate thing. Because if you get there and you end up sharing everything, then you have 7 pots and 9 pans in your cabinets and you only use 2 at most at the same time. So get there, have a chat with who you're living with, figure it out. Maybe you guys can even split the price of it all. However, if you're in a single room or have your own little kitchen, then I would also recommend waiting because you don't know what kind of stove you're gonna have. You don't want to end up with a pot and a pan that doesn't work on your stove. Don't bring DVDs. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. There's Netflix nowadays. I saw so many people with boxes of DVDs in my residence. I don't know why. Don't bring DVDs. Which leads me to my next point. Don't bring a TV. I get it, but also I don't know if that's self-explanatory. I think you should just stick to your computer. That's my opinion though. I think a TV is a lot of space for a small room, especially dorm-wise. Get a projector maybe, that would be a better idea. Don't bring an iron. This takes a lot of space, especially if you're bringing a whole table with it to iron it. You probably will end up ironing 2 or 3 times during the year. It'll just be a waste of space at the end of the day. A printer. Now this one I'm torn about because I would suggest going to university without a printer unless you have a printer at home. But the thing with printers is that it's not just a fixed fee, it's like a constant fee because you always need to buy ink. So I would suggest getting to university, seeing how their printers work. Do you have a limit? Do you have to refill it? How much is it? And if it comes down to more expensive or less expensive than having your own, then you can come to a conclusion and maybe buy your own printer or bring yours from home. Finally, I would suggest leaving your old textbooks at home. I had a friend who brought all her old textbooks. It took a lot of space in her room and she regretted it deeply. If you're going to study different subjects, maybe you'll find out that one subject isn't fit for you and then you'll have all these old textbooks. And also there's usually libraries at school which give you access to many textbooks. Information that you have in your textbooks that you really want to bring with you will probably be found in a library at your school. Now we can move on to the things to bring that I would highly suggest bringing that you can make space for in your luggage. Firstly, a doorstop. Now these are lifesavers, especially in residence. You're gonna want to make friends in your residence, so bringing a doorstop permits you to leave your door open so people can come in, say hi to you, and you can like hear people chatting in the hallway. Maybe you can go join them. It's all about the interaction with it. But also if you're doing laundry, for example, and you know you're gonna come back with a big bin and you're not gonna be able to open your door, put a doorstop and problem is solved. A medicine pouch. My mom used to always pack me a medicine pouch when I was younger and I was going on trips with my dad or things like that. I was always so annoyed because she would make sure everything was in the medicine pouch and she would go through it with me, teach me what I need to take in case I feel certain types of feelings in my body and soul and mind. Anyway, I always neglected it until I went to uni and I forgot to bring medicine. I was really sick one day and I had to go out of my res and buy medicine. Bring a medicine pouch because medicine is expensive. You won't necessarily know what to get when you're sick and woozy and not completely in your right mind. Bring Tylenol, bring Advil, bring cough drops, bring band-aids, bring all those general things, and trust me, it will be a lifesaver and you will thank your mother and yourself and your father and your cousins and family and all that good stuff for bringing a medicine pouch. Scissors. You're gonna need scissors. Regardless of when and how it happens, you're gonna need scissors. Whether that's moving into your dorm and having things to unpack or parcels to open, you will need scissors. And scissors are tricky because most scissors, when you buy them, will come attached to something which you need scissors to detach. So just bring scissors from home. It does not take room in your luggage. It is flat as a thin piece of paper and it's super useful and you will need them. Flip-flops, or otherwise called tongs. First of all, if you're in American dorms, you probably shower in a common shower. We don't want that gross floor to land on your feet and give you warts. So that's number one. But also because, for example, if you order food one night, you're not gonna put sneakers on to go get it. You're just gonna want something to slip on and go out, get your food and come back and slip off and go in your bed and eat your takeout, right? So bring flip-flops. They will be of great use to you. Slippers can be another option. A mini vacuum cleaner. Now, this is something to buy when you get to uni because obviously you're not going to transport a mini vacuum cleaner wherever you go. However, I would highly suggest getting a mini one. Those big vacuum cleaners take so much space and they're so heavy. You're going to get fed up with it and you're going to want to break it and throw it out because it's just so big. So get a mini vacuum cleaner, and like that also it can be compact and it can go in small corners. Mini vacuum cleaners are the way to go. An extension cord. I don't know about you guys, but my dorm room was pretty efficient on plugs. They had many, but I went to some of my friends' dorm room and they only had 2 plugs in their room, which can be enough, but also I don't see how it could be enough, especially now with technology. All the supplies you need for school that are technology related. If you have your phone, your laptop, if you have like lamps, or you have to charge different things at the same time, you're gonna need an extension cord in order to be efficient and fast working. I would highly suggest buying a large bowl once you get to your uni. Now this one is a little trick of mine. Laundry can be very expensive in uni, especially when it comes to laundry in dorm. They just have a way of ripping students off, but it can be really expensive. So I would suggest getting a decently sized bowl like that. You can hand wash some of your clothes quickly. We all don't have 30 underwears to last us a month. If you do, good for you. I don't. So what I did was just bought a big bowl, and once a week I would just wash all my socks and underwear and my delicate items like that. I could just wash them and they can be ready, and it didn't cost me anything. Also, going with that point, I would highly suggest getting a drying rack. You can get really small ones on Amazon or IKEA, and they're great because if you do decide to hand wash some things, you can hang them up afterwards and they dry overnight, and then the morning it's ready. But also because not only is washing very expensive, but drying is really expensive as well in student dorms. So what you can do is just wash it in the washing machine and then save half the price that you would usually pay and just dry it on your drying rack. A hard drive. This is a must-have in uni. I had a hard drive and it crashed halfway through uni. It had so many videos of mine that I was about to post and so much work that I had done. It was a HDD, I'm pretty sure. So I would suggest getting an SDD or SSD. Yes, an SSD. Basically, it's the same as a memory card, just as a hard drive form. You will be producing a lot of work in uni on your computer, and you're gonna need a place to store all of that information, especially because you don't want to not have enough room and have to delete things off your computer and then accidentally delete something that you needed. That happened to me many times this year. So get an SSD hard drive and be safe. Earplugs. Student dorms are probably the noisiest places I've ever slept. Students will be coming home super late at night after partying. They will most likely be drunk. Sometimes you're just going to want to be in a really big grinding and study mood. You're not going to want to hear those people partying outside. Bring earplugs. It's self-explanatory and it will save you a good night of sleep. Command hooks and blue tack. Again, self-explanatory. You got coats and you don't have enough hangers and you don't want to put them in your closet. Get command hooks. Just hook it up beside your door and easy. Blue tack, in order to decorate your room a little bit, you're usually not allowed to put holes in the wall, so get blue tack. Make your life easier. I would also suggest bringing card games or any really board games type of thing. Even instruments that you might want to play. This can attract people to your room in order to socialize, make friends. Everyone loves a good board game, at least I do. Bring all the necessities you need in order to weave your way through friends. Bring batteries. That's all I'll say about that. You will need them. A blanket. Sometimes you're gonna come home from a long day of school. You're not gonna want to get into your bed right away, but you will want to cozy up in your bed. Maybe watch some Netflix, maybe work in your bed, get takeout at 2 a.m. and you don't want to stain your covers, so bring a blanket. And finally, bring a needle and thread, because you will probably be broke when you're a student. You will probably not have a lot of money, and if something rips on your shirt or pants or wherever, maybe your brain will rip apart sometimes. That was a bad joke. You will either not have enough money to fix it with a professional tailor, or you will not have enough money to buy a new shirt or pants or brain. So bring a needle and thread. It's super easy. You do not need to know how to sew to use a needle and thread. Ask a family member or friend to teach you, or go on something beautiful called YouTube, which presents you every how-to in the world, and learn how to use a needle and thread and fix your clothes yourself and help the environment and the world. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. It means the world. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it answered everyone's comment about, can I make a uni essentials video? So I hope this satisfied you, and let me know if you have any questions or any other recommendations. Thank you so much for supporting me. It means the world, and I'm so excited to show you guys my back to school, and I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Kisses.